Petway says violent crime is down across the county.
When we see a reduction like this, 23%, that means that we're making progress.
We're on your side with a WBRC safety check, looking into what leaders say they're doing to protect you and your neighborhood. And 4 women facing charges after police say they encourage middle schoolers to fight. Community leaders tell us what they think as Birmingham Police Chief Michael Pickett challenges parents to be better role models. And good news if you are hitting the road for the Labor Day weekend, getting to your summer destination might be a little cheaper. We'll explain first at 9.
Live on your side. First at 9 starts with First Alert Weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight for this digital edition of WBRC 6 First at 9. And for many of us, Labor Day weekend has already begun. But what does your forecast look like? We start with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. And Wes, what are you tracking right now?
Well, Steve, we've been watching a front across the region, and that's been an area where we've seen some wet weather, mostly down into South Alabama. Not a lot happening around here tonight. You can see some breaks in the clouds. It's been a very pleasant Friday night and a nice kickoff to the Labor Day weekend. It looks like over the next couple of days, rain chances stay very limited. So overall, not a bad forecast. Again, right now we have temperatures in the 70s. We had quite the warm up today, and that's one of the big weather headlines here. Warmer afternoon temperatures, that summer heat hanging on. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. And there will be plenty of sunshine in the mix. Maybe a shower or two far south. That's the greatest chance. I am tracking a cold front next week that will bring another drop in temperatures. One of the next big things we'll be talking about. But again, for Saturday, Sunday, and Labor Day, only a 20% chance of showers. Again, some warm afternoons. So if you want to get some pool time in, still looks like plenty warm to head out to the lake or to the pool. Of course, we got some football happening. We'll be checking in on the college football forecast and more on the 10-day outlook and changes ahead for next week. That's all coming up.
New tonight, the Jefferson County Sheriff says violent crime is down significantly, with the county recording fewer shootings, rapes, and robberies. Your reporter Brady Talbert looking at what leaders say deputies are doing right now to protect you and your neighborhood.
Yes, this is all about keeping your family safe. That's why the sheriff is thrilled to see a 23% reduction in some of the worst crimes tearing families apart.
We're going in the right direction.
The right direction, but Jefferson County Sheriff Mark Petway stresses the work isn't over. From January to August, the sheriff reporting homicides, rapes, robberies, burglaries, and auto thefts are all down countywide.
So when we see a reduction like this, 23%, that means that we're making progress.
Sheriff Petway highlighting 2 tactics he says are leading to arrests. First and foremost, collaboration is key. He says his office is working hand in hand with other local agencies, sharing information on potentially dangerous criminals.
We're chasing very much the same guys. They cross county lines, they cross city lines. And what we do, working together, we get those individuals and we take them off the streets.
Second, the sheriff says neighbors are stepping up to help.
They're going after criminals. We're going after people that's committing crimes. We're going after the community at large.
Advocates like Ansky Williams with Restore are launching anti-violence campaigns in Woodlawn, Eastlake, Roebuck, and Centerpoint in September. He says it's everyone's job to do their part by speaking up when you know a crime has been committed.
It's snitches get stitches until it's your family member.
A tried and true method that the sheriff says is working.
That's why we always say, if you see something, say something.
The sheriff says if you give his office information, they will never tell how they got it. And if you are still hesitant, you can always reach out to Crime Stoppers to remain completely anonymous. Your reporter in Jefferson County, I'm Brady Talbert, WBRC 6 News on your side.
First at 9, 4 women are facing charges tonight because Birmingham police say they encouraged middle school students to fight. Now, Tiara Williams, Jasmine Heidelberg, Deanna Young, and Khadijah Weaver all charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Williams is also charged with child endangerment. Officers responded to Tom Brown Housing Community in North Avondale last night for a fight involving students from Hayes Middle School. Now, while investigating, police say they learned that several adults may have encouraged the fight between the young girls. Birmingham Police Chief Michael Pickett released a statement late last night saying, quote, "This kind of parental neglect is a disgrace to our community," adding that as adults, we have a responsibility to serve as role models. And we also reached out to leaders with the Housing Authority of Birmingham. They say officers were able to arrest the people involved within hours of the fight happening, but they're calling for adults to set a better example.
I want to stress fighting, parents fighting, interacting with children who are fighting, Encouraging children to fight, that is not normal. In the last 3 years, crime has gone down beyond 50%. It's dropped 50%. If you commit crime in the housing authority, whether you're a resident or a guest, you will be dealt with. You will be held accountable for your actions.
HABD also says they're planning additional outreach to remind and educate the communities about their zero-tolerance approach to violence, as well as different resources that they offer. A man accused of shooting 2 people will be held in jail without bond. A Jasper police detective testified during a hearing today that Nathan Anderson took his mother's revolver and shot her, hitting her in the hand and head. Another officer testified the 72-year-old Ronald Miner was shot in the front of the head and died with his car keys in one hand and laying on top of his phone. An update from Hoover. The City Council holding a special meeting this morning to officially certify the results from Tuesday's election. Longtime Police Chief Nick Durzis now officially the mayor-elect after defeating current Mayor Frank Bucato. Meanwhile, 2 races for City Council are headed to a runoff. That runoff election for Place 2 will be between Kenneth Cox Jr. and Gene Smith, and the runoff for Council Place 3 will feature Liz Lane and Ashley Lavelle. Those elections will take place September 23rd. Now, honoring our nation's heroes, Congressman Robert Aderholt paid tribute to Vietnam veterans in Blount County today. The congressman held a pinning ceremony for more than 160 vets. Those veterans are primarily from Blount, Coleman, Marshall, and DeKalb counties.
My hope is that they will recognize the sacrifice of these veterans that came back and were not really recognized as they should have been. And I've had some veterans tell me this is the first time they've been recognized. And again, this has been 50 years since the ending of the war.
It's an honor because it's my dad, you know, and he did serve not just for me but for you and everybody else. And I thoroughly enjoyed representing him today.
This is one of several events that Congressman Aderholt has held in recent weeks, honoring some of the millions of Americans who served in Vietnam. Investigators still working to determine a motive in Wednesday's Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. That shooting during morning mass killed 2 children and injured 18 other people, most of them children as well. Local, state, and federal authorities are interviewing people who may have connections to the person who attacked the church. Investigators say that person left writings and videos expressing hate for multiple religious and minority groups. A U.S. attorney involved described the attacker this way.
There appears to be only one group that the shooter didn't hate. The group were the school shooters and mass murderers that are notorious in this country.
Investigators say so far they have not found anything in the attacker's background or record that would have prevented him from buying weapons legally. New tonight, a group of protesters gathering in Fayette County. They're angry about a decision to release a convicted felon from prison and place him on house arrest. That protest happening in front of the Fayette County Courthouse. Demonstrators say they are upset with the local judicial system for releasing convicted felon Timothy Benton early from state prison. Court records indicate that in 2020, Benton was sentenced to 17 years in prison on sex-related charges involving children. We have not determined why the court released Benton early and sentenced him to house arrest. He has a GPS monitoring system, though.
Hopefully that he goes back to prison. Anyone that messes with kids, hopefully they have to do the whole time and no parole, no CCP or anything.
I feel like them letting him out of jail is wrong. I believe in right is right and wrong is wrong, and them letting him out is just wrong. And if they're not going to stand up for the children, then I'm with everybody else that is here, and we are going to stand up for the children.
WBRC 6 News tried to contact District Attorney Andy Hamlin, who declined to comment at this time. We also tried to visit the judge's office in the matter, and the Fayette County Courthouse closed today at 1. We're also still waiting for a reply from Benton's attorney. Covering Shelby County, the city of Alabaster has started paving in many neighborhoods after hiring an outside firm to evaluate all city-owned streets. Here's a look at a few of the streets that are being paved. There are actually about 25 street segments that are being paved in this project. You can find a full list of the streets and a link for you to make suggestions about paving on our WBRC News app. If you're squeezing that last summer trip this Labor Day weekend, there's good news for your wallet. On average, the cost of domestic flight, hotels, and car rentals are down from last year. Gas prices also the lowest they've been in the last few years.
Oil is coming into the market. When supply is so abundant, that means that if demand's not outweighing that supply, we're going to see lower gas prices.
Here in Alabama, AAA says the average price for a gallon of gas is $2.82. If you're hitting the road, travel experts say your best bet is to get out of town during the morning hours and avoid that midday travel. Speaking of Labor Day weekend, let's check with Wes now for a look at your holiday weekend forecast. How about it?
All right, Steve. Hey, it's looking good out there. Actually, it's trended a little bit drier. And looking at the forecast right now, no rain showing up tonight. We have temperatures in the 70s. A live look at First Alert AccuTrack radar tonight. There's just a few clouds out there. If you're getting out on the water early tomorrow, maybe doing a little fishing, you can see will be partly to mostly cloudy conditions. Those early morning low clouds that will give way to some breaks, especially along and north of I-20, where we have more sunshine. It's really going to heat up. I mean, we'll see some mid to upper 80s. Moonrise at 1:20, moonset at 11:07. So out there, as far as fishing, could be some good movement there by the afternoon into the evening. Next 24 hours, a lot of clouds, and we've got this stalled front to the south, and that's sort of the focal point for all the wet weather. It's going to be staying down into South Alabama. But notice this is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Forecast data not showing a lot. Most of us will stay dry. It looks like tomorrow. Same goes for Sunday. So this forecast has trended way drier. There's Sunday morning, some low clouds. Again, we'll have maybe a partly mostly cloudy sky coming back again for Sunday afternoon. But really the next best chance of rain is going to happen, looks like around Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, ahead of the next cold front that moves our way. And that's what you're seeing in the forecast data. This is for Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week. And it looks like a chance for showers and storms. And then we've got this cold front that's going to drop in here, bring another surge of drier air. So towards the end of next week, we'll have more fall-like conditions with respect to the mornings, especially that nice cooler, crisp feel there earlier in the day. So again, not too bad tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. We've got highs in the mid to upper 80s. That summer heat hanging on. Labor Day weekend, overnight lows in the 60s. Not too bad at night. 20% chance for a shower. And then Tuesday night into Wednesday, here comes the wet weather, showers and storms. And then a cold front sweeps in Thursday, Friday of next week. Highs in the upper 70s, low 80s. Lows at night in the 50s. That's when you'll really notice it. Coming up on that weekend of September the 6th and 7th, you can see highs in the 80s. Looks like dry weather conditions for the following weekend there. So that next Saturday and Sunday, not too bad. So check the weather app. Again, that you can find the 10-day forecast there. We'll be fine-tuning it over the weekend, keeping you well informed. And it looks like maybe some scattered showers and storms down along the Florida Panhandle tomorrow. So Alabama fans may have to deal with some lightning delays possibly. So if you are traveling, make sure again you have the WBRC First Alert weather app.
Thanks, Wes. That's all for this digital edition of WBRC First at 9. With football on TV, we're right back here at 10. Hope to see you then. And don't forget about Sideline. All the highlights from your favorite high school football teams will be on WBRC immediately after the Auburn game. You can always get the latest news and weather on our WBRC News app. Good night.